Most people would look at 5 days in Hawaii and San Diego as a great vacation, but for Bill Bano and the Runnin' Rebels, they'll be all business tonight against the Aztecs, and we'll have it for you next.
Runnin' Rebel basketball is sponsored in part by America West Airlines. It seems silly to pay more. The Good Guy. Good is better. Burger King. Get your burgers worth. The Fletcher Jones family of dealerships. Station Casinos. Palace, Boulder, and Texas Station, where Vegas wins. FHP Healthcare. Your health partner for life. Saturn. A different kind of company, a different kind of car. Showboat Hotel and Casino. It's where Rebel fans belong. Pepsi, who invites you to join the Generation Next. Fatburger, the last great hamburger stand. And by Sprint, the First Source phone book.
On a Saturday night in San Diego, it's the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV and the Aztecs of San Diego State. Let's go back to Thursday in Honolulu. The free throw by Alika Smith gives Hawaii a 2-point lead. Sunshine Smith goes the length of the floor for the Rebels, and somehow, someway, the layup does not go in, and Hawaii coach Riley Wallace looks toward the heavens in thanks. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Ken Korak with Glenn Gondrezick. It's great to have you with us. The Rebels with a win here tonight would take some of the sting off that loss on Thursday, and Gondo, they'd get a split of this 2-game road trip.
Well, when you look at it, that they lost to first place Hawaii twice this year by a total of 3 points. So now the best the Rebels can hope is a split on this trip.
Last time the Rebels played the Aztecs, they dominated. Keon Clark had a huge ball game with 8 block shots.
Well, you talk about Keon. He's been called the human repellent. More appropriately, he's the human highlight film. And anytime Keon touches the ball or is in a game, good things happen.
Rebels had 54 rebounds in that ball game as well. We're in San Diego, the Rebels and the Aztecs, back with the lineups and the tip-off right after this. And we're back at the venerable and cavernous San Diego Sports Arena. UNLV 13-7, San Diego State at 12-8, and time now for the Station Casino starting lineup. And Glenn Gondrezick, another good matchup in the backcourt. Jason Ritchie and Sunshine Smith.
Well, Ritchie, their leading scorer at 18.4 points per game, and the Rebels' best perimeter defender and Sunshine Smith are going to match up with each other tonight, and certainly that's going to be a tough job for Sunshine.
And now we'll take a look at Gondo's keys to the game, presented by Columbia Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center, setting the standard every day.
Well, similar to Hawaii, you had AC, Anthony Carter, and Alika Smith, the backcourt for Hawaii, were their leading scorers. Tonight you have Jason Ritchie and Chad Nelson. Together they're averaging almost 33 points a game. And you look at what the backcourt of Hawaii did, Hawaii did against the Rebels. They had 37 points. So Mark Dickel and Sunshine Smith have to do a better job defensively. The last 7 games, Tyrone Nesby is shooting 34% from the field. UNLV has gone 2-5. The previous 7 games, Tyrone shot 54%. The Rebels went 7-0. Rebels have to play that up-tempo style of game, and it's going to be coming. They have to start with the rebounding. In the WAC, UNLV is positive 83.3 rebounds per game more than their opponents. San Diego State is a minus 7.4. So Rebels have to, in order to get that up-tempo game going, they have to do a job on the boards.
All right, we're ready to go. The Rebels at 5-4 in the WAC. The Aztecs at 4-6. Rebels won the first meeting this year between the two clubs up at the Thomas and Mack by 20. Aztecs with the game's first possession. Chad Nelson, number 10, is the number 10 all-time scorer here at San Diego State. Here's the drive by Ritchie off the glass for 2, and that's how our ball game begins tonight.
Again, Mark Dickel getting beat all the way to the basket. Ritchie starts out the game with an easy deuce.
Ritchie, one of the best backcourt players in the conference, actually began his college career at Arizona. Rebels with Mark Dickel penetrating. Nesby for 3. Dickel rebounds for UNLV, a fresh 35. Here's Lane on the post. Tony turns, misses. Nesby the rebound, the follow, no. And he's fouled, a 2-shot foul.
Well, San Diego State, as we mentioned, is not a good rebounding team, so the Rebels should get a lot of second and third opportunities.
The foul was on Kevin Betts, his first team foul. We mentioned the records in the WAC for these two ball clubs. Right now in the Pacific Division, Hawaii and Fresno are leading. The Rebels are 2 games back. San Diego State occupies the number 6 spot. Fred Trinkle, the head coach here in San Diego, now in his 3rd year. 38 wins, 39 losses. For many years, the head coach at the College of Southern Idaho. 2 free throws are missed by Nesby. The Aztecs come back with Ritchie in the forecourt. San Diego State coming off a win here on Thursday against the Air Force Academy. That broke an Aztec 5-game losing streak. Rebels begin in the man-to-man. Will Porter is a freshman guard, only 6'1". Aztecs beginning with 3 guards. They're just not a very big team, Nando.
And Nesby's matched up with Will Porter at 6'1". Tyrone about 6'6", 6'7".
5 on the timer. Ritchie. Kruzwick the rebound for San Diego State. Out to Kevin Betts, who's probably their best athlete. Ritchie again. That's no good. Rosegreen the rebound for UNLV. 2-0 San Diego State. Rebels averaging 72 points a game this year. Sunshine the shot long. Lane's got the rebound. He puts it up and he's fouled. Now, last time the 2 teams played, the Rebels had 54 rebounds. That's the most rebounds any team has had against the Aztecs this year.
And certainly you can see that the Rebels are intent on crashing the offensive board as Sunshine pulls up for the short jumper, misses it. But look at Warren Rosegreen come from the other side to keep the ball alive for Tony Lane.
The foul was on Porter, his first second team foul. Rebels look to get on the board here, trailing 2-0. Rebels are a 64% free throw shooting team. Tony Lane averaging 9.8 a game this year. Rebels finishing up this 2-game road trip. They'll be home a week from tonight to play San Jose State. And tied at 2.
The Rebels get some points off the free throw line, and this is a San Diego State team that averages 5.4 points more per game than its opponents from the free throw line.
Chad Nelson on the dribble, now to Ritchie. Ritchie throws the ball out of bounds. Rebels will get it on the turnover.
I expected to see the Rebels play some half-court man-to-man or 2-3 zone defense tonight. It's early in the game, but the Rebels have been playing that man-to-man defense, and it starts with the man on the ball, and if they can be successful with that, they'll get a lot of easy turnovers.
Bill Bano, the Rebel head coach, has the Rebels with 13 wins. Nesby on the miss, and Betts the rebound for the Aztecs. Nelson flips to Porter, who's a good perimeter shooter. And he misses on the 3, and the battle for the rebound is won by Rosegreen for the Rebels. We're tied at 2. Sunshine leaning in traffic, puts it up no good. He's fouled, and already the 3rd team foul on San Diego State.
And the Rebels are now going to their free throw line for the 5th and 6th time already in the game tonight.
That foul's on Ritchie is first. Gondo, have you noticed, being around the ball club the last 2 days here in San Diego, any effects of the travel, the Rebels having gone to Hawaii and back on this trip?
I felt yesterday they did, after you had the red-eye flight right after the game on Thursday night, after the Rebels lose a tough game in Hawaii and then have to take the red-eye out, fly the entire night, get into San Diego, we'll go into L.A., then transfer on a plane in L.A. down to San Diego, and get into San Diego by 8:30 in the morning. You know, the Rebels spent a lot of time with the Sheets yesterday.
And a 4-2 lead, UNLV, after the 2 free throws. Tell you one thing, if they had taken that game into overtime Thursday night, we would not have made that flight.
What a great excuse to spend another night in Hawaii.
Exactly. We were all rooting for that. 20 on the timer, and Nelson with the ball. Porter, second 3 attempt. First basket, Will Porter, the freshman, gives the Aztecs a 5-4 lead.
Well, Rebels have to be aware of their perimeter defense because San Diego State is so small, and you look at, they only have one player in Kruzwick at 6'8" inside.
Aztec steal. Here's Kruzwick now to Ritchie. We've played 3 minutes. San Diego State leading by 1. Chad Nelson with 1,000 points in his career. Nesby gathers in the rebound for UNLV. Rebels pounding the ball to Lane. He's got it. He puts it up. Missed the layup. Rebound to the Aztec by Betts. And boy, the Rebels on Thursday had about 6 or 7 of those in close to the basket they missed.
Well, the Aztecs are content on playing man-to-man. The Rebels can take advantage inside.
5-4 San Diego State.
And you can see the effects already. The Aztecs are already tired.
The Rebels, one of their main goals offensively tonight is to pound the ball inside. They do it again. Lane's got it. He scores that one, and the Rebels lead 6-5.
Well, Kevin Betts at 6'4" is matched up with Tony Lane inside. This is one of the few times this year where Tony Lane is taller, stronger, and just bigger and more athletic than an opposing player that he's matched up with to start the game, as Keon Clark will come in the game and Tony Lane will get a short rest.
Numbers against Hawaii, another double-double for Keon. 6 double-doubles in his last 8 games.
They only credited him with 2 block shots. I thought Keon had about 4 or 5 on pace to set a new school record in block shots.
Well, he has 72, and the all-time record is 77, set by George Ackles. Stoppage of play here momentarily.
Well, if Keon repeats his performance that he had against the Aztecs at the Thomas and Mack, where he had 8 block shots, he'll set the record tonight.
Betts came to the sideline. I don't know if he had been bleeding, but as our viewers know, if any blood is showing, that player has to come out of the ball game. And so the Aztecs make the move. Number 33, Brian Reinhardt, a 6'6" senior, comes on for Betts. 6'5" running Rebels. 4 minutes gone first half. Here's Nelson. Good perimeter shooter, missing on the 15-footer. Dickel the rebound, UNLV. Nesby off the glass, no good. The rebound of Porter for San Diego State. Well, you mentioned in your keys the importance of getting Nesby going offensively. And on the dribble, Ritchie is fouled by the Rebels.
And Nesby is really struggling again tonight, but the one thing you want Tyrone to do is just keep looking, putting the ball on the floor, trying to get out of that shooting slump. And it's important how Tyrone goes. The Rebels usually go, so Tyrone is really struggling.
The foul was on Sunshine Smith. The Rebels lead the ball game by 1 on the Station Casino scoreboard. Reminder, our next telecast here on KUPN TV 21 will be Thursday night, the 27th, when the Rebels go to Laramie to take on the Wyoming Cowboys. And also check out the KUPN internet site at www.kupn.com. After tonight, the Rebels will be home for a 4-game homestand, the final 4 home games of the year. Bill Bano and company playing San Jose State Saturday, Fresno State on Monday the 17th, Air Force Thursday the 20th, TCU on Saturday the 22nd.
That's going to be a crucial 4-game homestand for the Rebels. The Rebel fans really need to come out and feel the Thomas and Mack.
And there are a lot of Rebel fans down here in San Diego tonight. The Rebels lead this one by 1, 6-5 with 15:30 to go in the first half. Here's Betts down the middle, fouled by Rose Green. It counts, and the Aztecs reclaim the lead 7-6.
Well, so far the interior defense for the Rebel has been excellent. This time you get as Trenkle comes in and passes the ball inside to Betts. Betts had just gotten position inside on Warren Rosegreen.
His first second team foul. You mentioned Trenkle. Number 5, Brady Trenkle, the son of the head coach here, and he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. Betts, foul shot rolls in. The Aztecs lead 8-6. Trenkle is matched up with Sunshine. That should be a pretty good matchup for Sunshine. Dickel, the penetration. Son on the dribble, the leaner from 10 is around no, and Betts the rebound for the Aztecs. Jason Ritchie played 1 year at Arizona as a walk-on. Actually played on the Wildcats Final Four team, then transferred to junior college. Ritchie, number 3, last year was a JC All-America at Mesa JC in the Phoenix area. Ritchie behind a pick by Cruzwick, and the rebound by Nesby. 8-6 San Diego State. Rosegreen posting. The patented right-hand jump hook.
Well, Warren gets down on that right low blocks and just accelerates off the floor, and loves to use that right hand.
He made a couple of those in the second half in Honolulu Thursday night. 8-8 now. Great rally by the Rebels in that game late. Now we get a foul on UNLV.
Well, Brady Trenkle is cutting to the basket. They have Trenkle listed as 5'11", 195 pounds. He looks more like he's about 5'9", about 265.
Come on.
Well, he looks like a fire hydrant, and he's not going to beat anybody with his quickness.
Damian Smith in the game for the Rebels. That last foul was on Dickel, his first. Trenkle to Reinhardt. Trenkle has made 26 threes this year in 48 attempts. That's 54%. A lot of the offense running through Ritchie tonight on the perimeter. Here's Reinhardt with Nesby, and the timer at 15. Betts off the glass, no good. Rosegreen, another rebound for the Rebels. Nesby's fouled on the dribble by Kevin Betts. 4th team foul of San Diego State.
I really think this is where the Rebels can take advantage. If you get the rebound, control the boards, as Warren Rosegreen did on that last possession. Kick it out quick to Dickel. Dickel can look up and find somebody filling the lanes for the Rebels. In this case, it was Tyrone Nesby.
2 personals on Betts, so Porter comes in to replace him. You know, looking at this scenario right now, we mentioned that 4-game homestand. The Rebels with a great opportunity now to really pick up some ground in the WAC, especially if they can get this one here and pick up the split in this 2-game trip. Rosegreen lost it. Frankel heads back the other way for the Aztecs. The Rebels can win tonight, take 3 out of 4 at home, and split the Colorado-Wyoming. Now you got 18 wins. Reinhardt, the 3, is rebounded by Rosegreen, lost it out of bounds, knocked out by the Aztecs.
And Bill Banos complained to the officials that Warren was fouled. Every time Warren goes up for a board, there's a lot of San Diego State players putting a body on him. They're aware of Warren Rosegreen's rebounding abilities.
Chad Nelson back for the Aztecs for Frankel. Stephen Clark, a 6'8" freshman, comes in for San Diego State as well. Well, you mentioned Rosegreen. It's been 7 games since Rosegreen has been in double figures in rebounds. He had 11 rebounds against the Aztecs. And since then, he's averaged 5 rebounds a game. That pass is kicked out of bounds. That's not a knock on Rosegreen, but here's a guy trying to play power forward at the college level. He's only about 6'4".
Well, tonight he's matched up with an Aztec team where he should be able to get a lot of rebounds if he gets the extended playing time he'll need. But there's one thing about Warren. He'll give you 100% every time he's on the floor.
James, the penetration, kicks it. Damian Smith. No good. Lane's got the board, though, for the Rebels, and he scores. Rebels lead 10-8 on the putback by Lane. Ritchie splits the defense. You can't leave Nelson open. He can make that. He missed it. Keon the rebound, UNLV. Of course, it was Damian Smith, Gondo, that got the Rebels back late as the Rebels call a 20-second timeout here.
They're getting an injury timeout.
Yep.
Kevin James is hurt. He's holding his shin. And immediately Mark Dickel's going to check back in because with the injury that Kevin James has to come out at least for 1 possession.
It looked like the Rebels actually were calling a 20, but I don't think they're going to be charged with a timeout here. Well, Gondo, as we mentioned, Damian Smith, the Rebels were down by 7 late in that game in Hawaii. Here's the first one that cuts the lead down to 4.
Well, Damian's the player. He sat on the bench for a few minutes and then got put back into the game. And all he did was cool. He just go up and nail a couple 3-pointers. As we get a look at the second one right here that cut the lead down to 1.
Yep. Now to live action. Nesby in traffic for 2 more for UNLV. Rebels lead 12-8 on the basket by Tyrone. The Rebels leading scorer this year at 15.5.
And that's what Tyrone can do so well. He can go down on the blocks, post up. He has great low post moves.
Well, he had 24 last time the 2 teams played. Also 5 steals. Porter 3-pointer. That's long. Smith rebounds for UNLV. Now Keon made a 3 in Honolulu. A foul on the Aztecs. Interesting story. Number 34 has just come in for them. Ephraim Salam. 6'7", 290 off the football team.
Well, he was activated 3 days before the last game against Air Force. Played 5 minutes in that game, but San Diego State coach Fred Trinkle is really worried about the way that the Rebels were able to dominate inside early in this game. So he goes to his bench, brings in a football player. He was the offensive tackle on the Aztec football team.
The Aztecs without their starting center, Ty Fields, who's out for the year with academic problems. And one of their starting forwards, Jacoby Thompson, is out, having been suspended, as Nesby takes a seat. So now the Rebels only dressing 9 players tonight, and then the Aztecs with 2 starters out. 12-8 running Rebels. 8 minutes gone first half in San Diego. Nelson bumped on the dribble by Damian Smith, and that's the 5th team foul on the running Rebels. 11:57 remaining first half. Rebels by 4 on the Station Casino scoreboard. And join us for the Bill Bano Show Tuesday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. at Barley's Casino and Brewing Company in the Green Valley Town Center. There'll be prize giveaways and a chance for you to ask the coach a question. And if you can't make it to Barley's, tune in on KXNT Radio 840 AM Tuesdays at 7. Ken Korak, Glenn Gondrzik, nice to have you with us. We're in San Diego where the Rebels lead this one 12-8 over the Aztecs. It's a trip for me to be back here. It's been 23 years since I've been in this building.
You've been to a few concerts here. I figured that you're going to get a cigarette lighter and stand up and hold it up.
Here's Lane off the rejection. The Rebels head back with Dickel down the middle. And Porter rebounds for the Aztecs. Now, you played some NBA games in here against the Clippers.
I have to say, yes, I have.
Nelson lost it, but it was knocked out of bounds by UNLV. Well, they tried NBA basketball a couple of times here in San Diego. First with the Rockets, then with the Clippers.
Always competing with that LA market.
That's right. 12-8 running Rebels. 11:30 to go, first half. Inbound is stolen by Keon. A Rebel win here would be their 14th of the season. Again, they pounded down a lane. Rebels a huge rebounding advantage already. 14-6 on the board. Here's Keon down low. Boy, they're calling it tight tonight, aren't they, Gondo?
Well, what San Diego State is trying to do is really try to play Keon Clark physical. And a lot of teams, or most teams, are trying to do that because the rap on Keon is he doesn't like contact. And certainly if anybody knows Keon as well as we have, Keon can play either finesse or strength. He'll get his elbows out there and play as physical as anybody else.
Foul was on Kruzwick, his first 16 foul. Keon off the window for 2, and the Rebels have their biggest lead at 14-8.
I tell you, Keon got the ball, reverse pivot, and shot down at the backboard.
He is having a sensational year. In fact, in the WAC, he is now averaging a double-double. Clark, the freshman, Lane knocked it away, and Lane then reaching in fouls him. 6th team foul on the running Rebel.
You know, Ken, I don't know how you feel, but in the Pacific Division, we've talked about Anthony Carter of Hawaii being the MVP of the Pacific Division in the WAC. I think Keon Clark is as far as a player with the most impact, that can change a game, can dominate a game. I think Keon Clark is a much better player.
Well, that's a good point. I think the MVP might go to the player who plays on the team that wins the division.
That's usually what happens.
Yes. Here comes Porter. Nesby got a piece of that. Lane grabs the rebound for the Rebels. Sunshine penetrating on the baseline. Wraparound pass. Nesby, great dish, and Sunshine was surprised, but he got the rebound and then put it back.
Well, I don't blame him. You don't see Tyrell Nesby pass a lot, so certainly caught Sunshine by surprise.
Rebels by 8. Aztecs call a 20-second timeout. Fred Trinkle has some words for his freshman Stephen Clark. 8-0 run by UNLV.
Why UNLV is so dominant in the game tonight and should continue throughout the rest of this game is because they can get the ball inside. This is a UNLV team that hasn't really done well shooting the ball from the perimeter, but they should have a lot of success in getting the ball inside.
Gondo, in the Pacific Division, we mentioned earlier the Rebels sitting at 5-4, tied with Wyoming for 4th place. Hawaii and Fresno leading at 7-2, but San Diego State right now is on the bubble. They occupy the number 6 spot. The top 6 teams make it to the WAC tournament.
Well, that's why this game is important for both teams.
The turnaround by the football player is down by Ephraim Salam.
Well, Salam played 2 years of basketball in high school, so it's not like he doesn't have skills. I was watching him out in warm-ups. He was dunking the ball as well as anybody.
Well, Salam said he was going to try to make amends for the Aztecs' loss to the Rebels in football this year.
Well, he's not.
I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense. Here's a steal by Ritchie. That was a great Rebel win against San Diego State in football. Knocked the Aztecs out of the Pacific Division Championship. Kruzwick to Porter. Nelson missing the 3. Nesby rebounds. Rebels lead by 6. Sunshine kicks it down low to Keon. The follow away by the big guy. No. And here's the rebound by Ritchie. Nelson can't buy a basket against UNLV this year. Splits the defense. Great dish. Kruzwick. Foul Keon. A 2-shot foul. Foul on the big guy.
Well, the Rebels are doing a good job defensively, and one reason that they're doing such a good job is now they're really getting help from players away from the basketball. You see where Nelson splits, but Keon Clark comes over and helps out, but then he gets called for the foul. Oh, that's a good block.
His first foul.
These officials with those long arms. Keon doesn't make any type of body contact whatsoever.
No, that's
Keon
a tough one right
just
there.
really block shots as good as anybody. But what the Rebels are doing is they're giving the Aztecs one shot now. It's just really controlling the defensive boards.
Kruzwick is from British Columbia. Went to the College of Northern Idaho. His goal is to play for Canada in the 2000 Olympics.
Well, he's played on that 19 and under team that won the gold medal at the national championships in '94, so he has a lot of aspirations, at least of going back and playing in professional leagues in Canada.
And the next one is a brick. We get either a foul or a lane violation.
A line, but Kruzwick was over the line as soon as he threw up the ball. He chased it down knowing it was going to miss.
But they called lane on the lane violation.
Well, that's appropriate.
Reminder that tonight's Run and Rebel basketball game is presented in part by the good guys. Good is better. Well, if he misses this is the hat trick. Hat trick, missed three. Trankel, though, gets the rebound for the Aztecs. Ritchie down the middle. 16-12 UNLV.
Keon didn't leave his feet. He wanted to get a piece of it or at least block it, and he's kind of just shaking his head a little bit. He knows he should have blocked that shot.
And the Rebels again pounding the ball to lane. Sunshine, great look at a three. Yes. 38th this year for Sunshine.
And Kevin James is back in the game for the Rebels, hobbling a little bit. But one thing the Rebels did is they skip past the ball around, which leaves Sunshine Smith all by himself for a wide open look at a three.
His 121st career three-pointer. He's 7th on the all-time UNLV list in that category. 19-12 UNLV. Ritchie running into Keon, no whistle, and Ritchie scores off the glass.
Well, if Keon would have flopped, they probably would have called the charge.
19-14. Back again the other way lane, an air ball. Kruzwick the rebound. Kruzwick or a Trankel from distance. Misses everything but glass. Trankel missed. Sunshine heads back.
Well, it's important the Rebels run the tempo. Look at that.
Oh, great dish, Damian to Keon. It counts. He's fouled.
Salam's going to take a seat now. Offensive linemen aren't used to this type of pace, and he is just struggling to get up and down the court. That's why it's important when Salam is on the court, the Rebels really look to push the basketball up and down.
Excuse me, Gunnar. This was an excellent dish by Damian Smith.
Damian Smith just recognized the fact that Keon is all by himself, and Salam just does nothing but put a body on him, but Keon has those long arms. He's able to get the ball down.
He almost slammed Salam in the basket with the ball.
The basket's not that big.
21-14, running Rebels. Keon at the stripe.
The Rebels have a chance now with 7:52 to go in the first half. They can really break this game wide open.
Neither team doing a good job at the line. Clark trying to post with Rosegreen. Number 30 in the ballgame, Robert Archie for the first time. Trankel missed. Keon rebounds. He's fouled by Clark, and Keon is going to shoot 1-and-1. Stephen Clark the foul.
Well, the Aztecs are already showing frustration, and the one thing is why is because the Rebels have played very, very good defense, and Bill Bain was kind of worried about whether his team was going to be able to play the man-to-man style of defense that he wants to play with the jet lag and the travel coming from Hawaii. And the Rebels have had a lot of success playing a 2-3 zone this year, but so far the Rebels have stuck with the man-to-man defense.
Well, I was thinking it was an awfully long night to get back to the mainland, then get down to San Diego. We got to the hotel at 9 o'clock yesterday morning until I saw Air Force in the lobby, and they hadn't even left yet to go to Hawaii yesterday.
Well, that's the one advantage. You need to look at it that you get a good night's sleep and get up and early and travel or take the red eye.
Clark the miss, Rosegreen the rebound, but Trankel stole the ball. Rebels lead by 7. That's got to be travel. I can't believe they didn't call it travel there. Battle for the rebound and out of bounds to the Rebels. Ritchie took 3 steps. That takes us to a break. The Rebels lead by 7 on the Station Casino scoreboard. And the Rebels have a huge homestand coming up to close out the season. Now, next Saturday at 7:30 at San Jose State. There'll be a free pregame health clinic at 5:30. FHP Fit Kids Club members and their families get discounted tickets. Call 269-2895. Monday the 17th, Jerry Tarkanian brings Fresno State in Columbia Sunrise Pom Pom Night. For tickets, call 895-3900. By the way, one additional note on the San Diego State game. If you come to the Thomas & Mack and your last name is the same as any of the presidents, you'll get a 50% discount on game tickets for the balcony only. It's a 21-14 Runnin' Rebel lead. 7 minutes left in the first half. Rebels going with James, Rosegreen, Keon, Nesby, and Sunshine. Clark down low, and he's fouled on a reach by Brady Trenkle. 9th team foul on the Aztecs. 1-1 coming.
Well, the Rebels are enjoying a 10 rebound plus margin so far. They're up 22 rebounds to 12. And you can look inside as Tyrone Nesby just finding Keon Clark is just a mismatch for anybody on the Aztec team tonight. They can get the ball inside all night long.
The Rebels are shooting 40% from the floor. The Aztecs at 25%. Rosegreen has 6 rebounds already. Sunshine leads the Rebels with 7 points. Yes, 8-point lead. At Fletcher Jones Imports, the Mercedes-Benz is now more affordable than ever. If you've been thinking about buying something else, think again. Fletcher Jones Imports, proud to sponsor Runnin' Rebel basketball on KUPN TV 21, Cable 2. 23-14 UNLV. Good first half by the Rebels. Here's a foul by Nesby. Boy, they're calling. Am I seeing things, or are they calling every little thing tonight?
Well, they didn't call a travel on Richie earlier,
That's
but
true.
it seems like the ticky-tack calls where they could allow it to go and play to continue because it doesn't disrupt play at all. Well, that's an obvious foul.
Little grab there.
Yeah, just
Not much.
Tyrone was beaten, didn't move his feet, so he grabs him with his hands.
Chad Nelson, who against the Rebels at the Thomas & Mack was just 1 for 8 from the field. Front end of the 1-and-1. Nelson is second on the career assists list here. Number 1, pretty good basketball player, better baseball player.
Much better baseball player than Tony Gwynn.
Tony Gwynn. In fact, he's donating a lot of money to build a new baseball stadium on the San Diego State campus. And they're also getting a new basketball arena on campus. So this is the last year they're going to play in this old place. 23-16. Here's the lob to Rosegreen. And Warren scores again with the right hand. Rebels lead by 9 again.
Again, Rebels are having no problem getting the ball inside and getting easy buckets.
Rebels man-to-man. Here's the pound low to Kruzwick. Comes around Keon and misses. Betts floors Rosegreen on the rebound. And that's the 10th team foul on the Aztecs. 2 shots coming for UNLV. 3 fouls on Betts.
Well, Betts, 2 of his 3 fouls were identical, where he's just trying to crash the offensive glass and just pound into Rebel players. Like Keon got a piece of that and didn't even leave his feet.
Yeah, he could have called that on Kruzwick too. Betts gets his 3rd, takes a seat on the bench. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our all-sport academic profile, and then we'll have a live interview with UNLV President Dr. Carol Harder, who is down here, quite a basketball fan.
Very knowledgeable.
Yep. Good by Warren. Rebels by 10.
Dr. Harder is very outspoken about the officiating this year. It was kind of funny to listen to her talk about it.
She's also representing the WAC on the NC2A Board of Directors, and we'll talk to her about that. 2 free throws by Rosegreen gives the Rebels an 11-point lead. Rebels trying to even their road record at 5-5. Ritchie takes it all the way off the glass for 2. That's 8 points for Ritchie, 27-18. Keon one-on-one with Kruzwick to spin with a lane. Oh, what a move by the big guy. How do you stop that?
And he's left-handed, and he makes his move where he spins to his left, and then has to reach back towards the basket and kiss it right off the glass. A beautiful move by Keon.
Just so smooth. 11-point lead. Kruzwick not going to shoot over Keon. Aztecs remember that Keon had 8 blocks against them. Ritchie's fouled on the 3 by Kevin James. 3-shot foul. Folks at America West Airlines, they're pleased to present our annual Runnin' Rebel 3-point shot contest. Details will be given during halftime, so have a pen or pencil ready to write down how to enter. America West Airlines, serving 70 cities coast to coast with destinations in Canada and vacation spots in Mexico. This is a 3-shot trip for Richie. 29-19 after the first one.
On that game at the Thomas and Mack early in the year where the Rebels blew out San Diego State by 20, Richie scored 17 points in that game. Only player in the Aztec team to score in double figures.
They signed him late. The Aztecs had a freshman point guard last year named Circus King, but he transferred to California, and so they had a scholarship, and turned out to be a great move. 29-20 now. Not many guys go up there and make all three. Rebels lead by 8.
Richie makes all three and then picks up man-to-man full court.
5 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first half. Nesby traveled. Nesby, a huge game against the Aztecs last time as the Rebels commit their 6th turnover. Tyrone had 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 steals. They win over the Aztecs, completed the Rebels' 7-game winning streak. Nelson cuts behind a pick, 23 on the timer. Richie's been the whole offense. He's fouled as he misses, but he'll shoot 2 more with UNLV on top by 8.
Well, from the free throw line is where the Aztec offense has come in the last few possessions.
And Richie has 11 of the Aztecs' 21.
You have Chad Nelson, his running mate in the backcourt, who's averaging over 14 points a game this year. He's 1,100 points in school history, second on the assist list, second on the career steal list, and he's been very quiet so far in the first 20 minutes of this game.
The Aztecs are 9 of 13 from the foul line now. And last time the Rebels and Aztecs played, San Diego State only went to the line 15 times for the whole game, a season low for them. Aztecs won that game from Air Force 83-67. Perfect 6-point lead, 5 straight foul shots by Richie after the Rebels were leading by 11. Kevin James, the Rebels senior point guard, takes it all the way, runs into Cruzwick, and that's a charge on James. Now let's see if this is player control or not. Yeah, player control, no shots on the other end.
Kevin James just kind of lowers his head, doesn't look left or right for a pass. You have Warren Rosegreen all by himself, decides to take it all the way.
Dickel in, James out. Nelson got Rosegreen in the air, and I mean he got him in the air. Keon fouls on the shot by Cruzwick, and 2 more shots for the Aztecs, who are now living at the stripe.
Well, you talk about getting Warren Rosegreen off his feet. Chad Nelson could have gone underneath Warren. Look at how high Warren goes off the floor.
Well, I'll tell you that. Well, if you're going to get faked out of your shoes, you might as well go all the way up.
Well, I'll tell you what, he got both Warren and Keon Clark to leave their feet.
You know, Gondo, we had that shot of the missed layup by Sunshine on the open from Thursday night. The more I see that, the more I'm amazed that the ball didn't go in.
I talked with Sunshine right after the game, and he was all by himself, just sitting off to the side, very upset that he missed a shot. And his first words to me were, "I can't believe I missed that. I just can't believe it didn't go in." And, you know, Sunshine, you got to give him a lot of credit that a lot of players wouldn't be able to get the ball at the court as quick and take a layup. But Sunshine got it, not only get it down the court, but he got it up for a layup.
Yeah. The Rebels were down in that game by 10 with 4 minutes left. Actually, we're down by 14. Rebels showing a lot of heart. It was a great comeback in the second half. 1 free throw good by Cruzwick. The Aztecs have scored 6 straight points, all on foul shots, and the Rebels lead by 5 at 29-24. Dribble, drive, the dish, out of bounds. Rebels turn it over. Rebels in kind of a lull right now.
And Salam has checked back in for the Aztecs. Now it's important that the Rebels play that up-tempo style of ball again. Take advantage of the mismatch.
Aztec fans getting into it. They don't draw very much here, but the Aztecs are 9-2 at home. The Rebels are 9-2 at home in the Thomas and Mack, where they've drawn very well this year, over 13,000 a game. Here's Salam with Lane, and a foul on Lane. 2 shots, double bonus.
Well, the Aztecs started out the season. They were 9-2. Best start since the 84-85 season. Since then, they've gone 2-6.
And they're in danger, I think, of slipping out of the 6th spot because of their schedule. Here is Salam on the strike for 2. 3rd foul on Lane.
Aztecs are short 2 players right now. Jacoby Thompson is academically ineligible, and Ty Fields was suspended for violation of team rules. Both those players started when the Rebels met the Aztecs earlier to Thomas and Mack.
That should be the 2nd foul on Tony Lane. We'll make that correction. 2 fouls as you see Fred Trinkle, the former coach of the College of Southern Idaho Junior College. And actually Trinkle coached Clayton Johnson, former Rebel great at Southern Idaho. It's now 29-26. An 8-0 run, all from the strike. Corky Osborne's in for the Rebels for the first time. The ball knocked away by Ritchie. Osborne has it. Nelson knocked it away. Nelson heads back with Dickel. In and out on the tray, and Osborne tracks down the rebound for the running Rebels. Rosegreen. Lane on the putback, and the Rebels stop the 8-0 run. Rebels by 5.
Rebels going to back to do what they did earlier in the game, crashing the offensive boards.
It's getting awfully physical inside now, and that's what happens when a football player who weighs 290 comes into the game.
Especially when he's an offensive lineman in football, he's just used to contact.
Salam and Lane. Now here's Salam off the pick and roll. Kruzwick over Nesby. Should be a foul on Kruzwick. No, it's on the Rebels. And that'll be the 3rd on Lane. Bano's beside himself.
The official could have called it either way. On Kruzwick, I thought the call was going to go against. Tony Lane looked as surprised as anybody. And Bill Bano is understandably just beside himself. He's very upset by the call, and Kruzwick was right over the top of Tyrone Nesby.
Well, Bano and the Rebels know how important this ball game is. Aztecs have already shot 16 free throws. They're 11 of 16. 31-27.
I'm sure Fred Trinkle, the coach of the Aztecs, was on the officials as early in the game the Rebels just paraded to the free throw line. Now in the second half of the first half, second part, the Aztecs have just made the parade to the free throw line.
2 foul shots by Kruzwick takes us to a break. The Rebel lead is only 3 on the Station Casino scoreboard. And more on the big homestand coming up on Thursday, Feb 20 at 7:30. Air Force will be in. Famous Thunderbird pilots will be on hand to sign autographs. Fans will receive Air Force Thunderbird posters and stickers while supplies last. And the first 5,000 get a wax scratch-off card, a chance to win $777 in cash. Saturday the 22nd, TCU in the final home game of the year at 7:30 at the Thomas and Mack. Should make that correction from 4:30. 7:30. Call 895-3900. 895-3900. Here's Dickel on the drive for the Rebels. Rosegreen's got it. He puts it up no good. And the Rebels, who lead by 3, have Dickel back with it to Keon. He misses. Salam rebounds for the Aztecs. Dickel heads back after the turnover. This is getting wild in here. Damian Smith, left wing Rebel. That's no good. Rosegreen puts it back and scores. 8 rebounds for Rosegreen. Rebels by 5.
Play has gotten sloppy, but one thing the Rebels haven't quit. They continue to play hard, and they got Warren. Rosegreen is able to follow up with the jump basket underneath.
Both teams are battling. It hasn't been pretty. 33-28 running Rebel. Rebels go to a zone defense here. A little 2-3 look. Fouls really mounting for the running Rebels. Ritchie splits the defense. Here's Salam, and the big guy scores.
Well, one thing, when you play the 2-3 zone defense, you don't want to give up anything inside.
That big football player definitely knows what he's doing.
Well, he's used to opening up holes. That time he went and just split the Rebel defenders and got it off the glass.
His coach here, Ted Tollner, just signed a 10-year contract extension. Football coach. 12 in the timer. 3-point lead, running Rebels.
This is a play for Damian Smith.
He's got it. The three, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Rosegren.
Well, the Rebels ran the play that they wanted, just Damian Smith didn't get the shot to fall.
Damian having a great year in WAC play. We've talked many times this year about his struggles early, but in the WAC, he's a 50% three-point shooter, and he is averaging 10.3 points a game, and we showed you earlier those two clutch threes he made in the final seconds on Thursday night.
And I still believe Damian Smith is one of the best pure shooters in the country.
No question. Rebel head coach, not a bad pure shooter.
Oh, he's always been a good shooter. What his repertoire is. I've lost money to him in shooting contests.
So have I. 33-30. 1 minute left first half. Rebels lead. Porter, three-pointer for the tie. Reinhardt the rebound. Aztecs get a fresh 35. Ritchie over Keon. Keon bothered it. Nesby rebound. Dickel, and they're going to call it travel on Mark. Rebels claiming he was bumped. Now you've got 10 Rebel turnovers, unofficially only 3 on San Diego State. The game clock at 44. Aztecs get a fresh 35.
Well, the Aztecs against Air Force on Thursday night only turned the ball over 9 times.
Well, they're plus 113 for the season in the turnover ratio category coming into the game. .15 on the timer. Damian with a great steal. Now the Rebels can play for the last shot if they want to.
They get Keon Clark up off the floor.
But instead, Nesby pulls up and buries the two-pointer. And the Rebels lead by 5.
And that's when Bill Baino was yelling, use the clock, use the clock. Tyrone was lucky that the ball fell for him.
Well, you got an open one. He took it. Reinhardt for the tray on top. Dickel rebounds, first half over. Quite a battle here. Aztecs going to the line a lot. Rebels had a double-digit lead, but lead by 5 now in search of their 14th win overall and their 6th win in the WAC. Stay tuned. A lot coming up at the half. UNLV and San Diego State as we get set to begin the second half here at the San Diego Sports Arena. And Gonda, let's take a look back at your pregame keys and see how things have developed tonight.
Well, the backcourt of the Rebels really has to do a good job with Ritchie and Nelson. And so far with Nelson in particular, Nelson only has 2 points in the first half. But when you look at Jason Ritchie, he has 13. So the Rebels are going to have to do a better job on Ritchie in the second half. Get Tyrone going. We talked about how when Tyrone goes, shoots well from the field, that's usually how the Rebels go. Tyrone in the first half is 2 for 5 from the field, so not really doing a good job shooting the ball in the first half. Third key was rebounding. Rebels are just pounding the Aztecs on the boards, 30-16, and of those 30 rebounds, 9 have come off the offensive glass. So Rebels are doing a good job on the rebounding end.
Great balance for the Rebels scoring in the first half as Rosegren leads the Rebels along with Lane and Clark. So 3 of the Rebels with 8. Ritchie has 13 of the 30 for San Diego State.
And the Rebels have to be more aware of where he is at on the offensive end and really push up their defense. Concentrate more on Ritchie and a little bit less maybe on Chad Nelson.
Sunshine Smith has also chipped in with 7. Nesby has 4. San Diego State, though, 13 for 16 from the free throw line. UNLV 8 for 12. Rebels begin half number 2 with Sunshine, Dickel, Rosegren, Clark, and Nesby.
When you look at also Warren Rosegren's stats, this is a player that has not been in double rebounding figures in the last 7 games. In the first half, he has 9 rebounds to go along with 8 points.
Well, we thought this would be a chance for the Rebels to get back on the beam after losing 5 out of 7. And Rose Green, 9 boards tonight, had 11 last time the two teams played. And the Rebels with the first possession of half number 2. This is Nesby out to Dickel, who penetrates. Wide open and scores. That's the first basket Dickel's made on this road trip. He was 0 for 7 in Honolulu Thursday. Now, the little soccer action right there. 37-30 Rebels get it.
Well, Richie is trying to advance the ball up to Chad Nelson. Chad Nelson not even paying attention. And it's one thing when you're on the basketball court, you always keep your eye on the basketball.
Well, these San Diego Sockers were a dominant team in indoor soccer here, and Nelson had that one go off his head. Nesby with a turnaround. Tyrone and the Rebels score 4 quickies to begin the second half and lead by 9, and Nesby's got 6.
Well, the Aztecs only turned the ball over 4 times in the first 20 minutes. Get a turnover early in the second half with one of their players not even looking at the ball.
As Bill Bano has said many times, any road win on the WAC is a good win. Here's the penetration. Clark, the freshman, and Keon Clark rejects it.
And it almost looked like he double clutched it.
That's his 3rd and 75 for the season. Sunshine in the baseline. 2 more. Rebels on fire to begin the second half. Force the Aztecs to call it 20. Rebels lead by 11.
And Sunshine passed up the 3, just takes the dribble in, gets a little bit closer to the basket, knocks down the 2 instead of the 3.
Check out Keon, who is 2 away from tying George Ackles' all-time Rebel single-season block record.
Well, this is Clark against Clark, and the freshman just doesn't have a chance against Keon. And they see Sunshine passes up the 3, puts it on the floor, comes in and just calmly nails the 2.
That's right. You know what I like about that? Very much under control with that move.
And that's one thing that's been one of Sunshine Smith's criticism in years past, is he plays a little bit out of control. This year he's really played a lot smarter, a lot more under control, and it just seems like he's using above the shoulders more this year than he has in the past.
Stephen Clark on the floor for the Aztecs, along with Cruzwick, Porter, Nelson, and Ritchie. This is Porter, who averaged 21 a game as a high school senior last year. Cruzwick hosting Keon, and I think they got Keon for that.
And that's going to be Keon's 3rd personal.
Lane has 3.
They work the ball inside, and what they're trying to do is get Keon in foul problems. With the 2 already, Keon starts the second half, and the one thing that the Aztecs are trying to do is get Keon in foul problems. Now he picks up his 3rd.
Sunshine has 2 fouls. Kevin James has 2. Cruzwick back to the stripe. Cruzwick is 4 of 7 from the free throw line. He's the only Aztec to have missed a foul shot tonight. Lane back in for Keon. 10-point UNLV lead. This the end of a stretch for the Rebels, their 5th road game in their last 7 games. 9-point lead. A little full court pressure for the Aztecs. Sunshine with Nelson. Nelson fouls him. Boy, they really are calling it tight.
Well, Aztecs coming out playing a little man-to-man full court pressure, and Chad Nelson gets called for the foul, but certainly with Mark Dickel and Sunshine Smith in the backcourt for the Rebels, they shouldn't have too much problem with that man-to-man full court pressure.
You know what, Gondo, when they call it tight, it really disrupts the rhythm and flow of the ball game, I think.
Well, people come to see the 2 good teams play each other, not to watch the officials.
Nesby on the perimeter. Porter poked the ball away. 15 on the timer.
Handoff. This is a play for Sunshine Smith.
Instead, they go low to Nesby. And the turn on the baseline for 2 more. Tyrone 2 for 2 in the second half. 4 for 7 for the game. Rebels by 11.
Well, they have the matchup again with Will Porter at 6'1", trying to match up with Tyrone Nesby. Tyrone Nesby can go down low and just take full advantage of that.
43-32 running Rebels. 17:40 to go in the ball game. Clark not a threat. Ritchie is. Rebels help on him. Nelson through traffic all the way with a left hand, his first basket. Nelson in 2 games against the Rebels had been 1 for 13 before that hoop. 43-34.
You don't want to have Nelson get his wake-up call now.
You're looking at a guy who's scored over 1,100 points here for his career. Sunshine can take him on the dribble. Lane puts it back. Rebels wanted a foul. Cruzwick the rebound. 9-point lead running Rebels. open for the tray. And the Aztecs answer back, and the Rebel lead sliced to 6.
Rebels have to be aware of their defensive assignments. Tyrone Nesby is matched up with Porter.
Porter went to Nogales High School in La Fuente, California. 43-37. Dickel guarded by Ritchie. Nelson and Sunshine really bumping and grinding. Nesby, the fall-away rope, no good. Stephen Clark, the freshman for the Aztecs, for the rebound.
Not the shot that Bill Baino ran and execute the offense for.
Ritchie lost it, threw it away to Nesby. Dickel's ahead of everybody. Aztecs recover defensively. Dickel got his own miss. He was fouled by Cruzwick. Dickel will shoot 2.
Dickel hasn't been very good at finishing off the plays as of late, but you got to give him credit. He stayed with the play, got the offensive rebound, got fouled, got a chance to now to go shoot a couple free ones. So you see that he misses it, a real easy shot, but stays with the play, gets fouled by Cruzwick.
43-37. 2 fouls on Cruzwick, 2 team fouls second half on the Aztecs. (44-37). Talked about the remaining schedules as Damian comes in. The Rebels going home for 4 straight. San Diego State going on the road for 4. Real brutal stretch for the Aztecs. They have to go to Colorado State, Wyoming, Hawaii, and Stanford in a non-conference game. They'll be on the road for about 2 weeks.
See UCLA just handle Stanford today.
And how about USC? Remember the Rebels earlier this year beat USC at the Thomas and Mack? USC is now 8-3 in the Pac-10 and tied for first.
It's amazing. Rebels have had some big wins over quality opponents this year.
Well, you mentioned that, and of course the win over Tulane I thought was very big. As Salam, the football player, off the bench on the floor for the 2-pointer, and it's 45-39. Tulane is 16-6. Lost by 1 to Cincinnati the other night. Timeout, 15:34 left in the game. A 6-point Rebel lead on the Showboat scoreboard. And the Western Athletic Conference men's and women's basketball tournament will be held at the Thomas and Mack Center March 3rd through the 8th. Women begin on the 3rd, the men begin on the 4th on a Tuesday. Tickets are on sale now. Call 895-3900. You understand the lower level is basically sold out at the Mac, so if you want to go, get your tickets now. There's still good seats available upstairs. Rebels lead by 6 over San Diego State. Gondo?
On the WAC office, we were talking in the other day, they were surprised with how fast ticket sales have gone, and so they're really pushing people to get out there and buy their tickets as quickly as possible because it is filling up quickly.
It's going to be a spectacular show. Rebels lead this by 6. 15:24 to go in the ball game. Cruzwick for San Diego State. Aztecs with that 6th position right now. If the season ended today, they'd have to open with either New Mexico or Tulsa. That would not be a picnic. Here's a 3 to beat the 35-second clock, and the Rebels foul. Reinhardt's going to shoot 3, and he was out about 28 feet away, and they got Damian Smith for a foul, and Reinhardt's going to shoot 3 shots. And Bill Baino can't believe the call.
The shot clock had gone down to about 4 seconds, and Reinhardt didn't have a choice. Kind of just looks at it, eyeballs it.
Boy,
I don't see where Damian even touched him.
And the Aztecs, who have lived on the line, they have stayed in the game despite shooting below 30% from the field. Damian has 3 fouls. The 3rd Rebel with 3. In and out.
Reinhardt's a 67% free throw shooter on the year. If you get another look at it from a different angle. Maybe he got him on the arm after the ball was already released.
Well, he's made 1 out of 2, and it's a 5-point lead. Nesby in for Damian. 1 more coming. Rebels with Dickel, Nesby, Rosegreen, Lane, and Sunshine. Brady Trenkle has come back on the back line for the Aztecs guarding Dickel. There's the pound to Lane, out to Dickel. Dickel's fouled on the dribble by Trenkle. This is amazing.
There's so many mismatches on the court for the Rebels, and Brady Trenkle cannot stay with Mark Dickel. If Mark Dickel wants to put the ball on the floor, he can go around Trenkle all night long.
Second on Trenkle, 15 foul. 45-40. Nesby low, and he's fouled. Might be 2 shots.
And that's another mismatch. See where Tyrone Nesby is matched up with Brian Reinhardt. And as long as Tyrone stays down low in the blocks, that's a huge mismatch.
They called the foul on Trenkle, his 3rd, 4th team foul. Nesby to shoot a couple. Reminder that tonight's UNLV basketball game is sponsored in part by Saturn. A different kind of company, a different kind of car. Yes, by Tyrone.
And Keon Clark is coming back in the game with his 3 personal fouls for the Rebels.
9 points for Nesby. Rose Green leads 46-40. Seven-point UNLV lead. You were talking about some of the Rebel opponents. Syracuse won earlier today over Georgetown. They're now 14-9. UNR beat Long Beach State Thursday night. They're 14-6. Here's Ritchie with a jumper off the dribble for 2, and it's 47-42. We mentioned Tulane at 16-6, USC at 13-7. Keon triple team somehow gets it up, tips it, and scores.
Keon doing a 360 to get the shot off, but then with those long arms, able to tip it right back in.
I'm an NBA scout. I'm watching him very closely. Although Keon has said publicly he'll be back next year for his senior season at UNLV. There's the block by Lane. Ball out of bounds to the Aztecs.
Well, they can give 1 block to Keon and a 2nd block to Tony.
Don't you think Keon needs the additional year for the Rebels before he goes to the pros?
And I think that he's smart enough to realize he does as well. And he's talked to me a little bit about it. And I said, Keon, you know, you're only going to be as good as you want to be. And you definitely need more experience, and you just need to mature a little bit more as far as your game and learn and understand the game a lot more and come back another year.
Well, that's the 3rd foul on Sunshine. Rebels had 10 blocks last time the 2 teams played. 3 team fouls, 2nd half Rebels. Sunshine playing the passing lanes. Here comes a slammaroo by Tyrone.
And Tyrone was up so high that he was able to change his mind. He likes to dunk left-handed, but as Chad Nelson was getting back to the Aztecs, he decided he better make sure that he gets the ball down and dunk it 2 hands.
There have been times this year when the Rebels have been quite a show.
Watch, he looks back and then changes his mind and go ahead and put it down 2 hands.
He did not get a tee because he hung on the rim but was doing it to avoid hurting himself. 51-42 Rebels. A lot of Rebel fans here tonight. You can hear them in the background.
Well, you know the Rojos are here, and it's about 2 busloads of Rebel fans came down from Vegas.
3 by Ritchie is rebounded by Nesby. Great pass, Dickel to Lane, and he scores. Dickel somehow got that over the defense to Tony Lane. Rebels by 11.
Well, that's taking advantage of Salam, the 290-pound, 6'7" offensive tackle of the Aztecs, not being able to get up and down the court.
Timeout called by the Aztecs. This is a full timeout called by San Diego State. Rebels by 11 on the Showboat scoreboard. And make sure you enter the Showboat Hotel and Casino's Final Four sweepstakes. You can win a trip for 2 to this year's Final Four in Indianapolis. Take your season ticket stub to the Showboat's Big Easy Club or call 385-911 for details. That's the Showboat Final Four sweepstakes. Showboat, it's where Rebel fans belong. Gondo?
Well, look how Keon does his 360. There he goes. Left-handed, he still gets the ball up there, but watch these long arms come up there. As soon as he touches the floor, he goes right back up and tips it right back in.
Great natural ability that he has.
It's just amazing that he gets better and better all the time.
Rebels by 11. Cruzwick, got Nesby in the air. Cruzwick gets it back. Keon might have got a piece of that. Cruzwick rebounds and scores. I don't know how many blocks officially he's got, but he needed 2 more before that sequence to tie the record of 77. He had 3 tonight. If they gave him 2 blocks on that, he's tied Ackles' record. Here's a travel by Nesby. Rebels 53-44.
Well, he's still got a lot of time. Keon has a chance of breaking the record tonight, but the most important thing now is that the Rebels are up by 9, and they have a chance of breaking open this game and just put it in cruise control, but they have to break it open and just put San Diego State away.
Thing is, Gondo, this is just the 18th game that Keon's played in this year. Now again, ball out of bounds. I mean, he's got 76 blocks in 18 games.
That's incredible.
He has 5 officially now. Jimmy Gemma, the UNLV Sports Information Director. So Clark has officially now tied George Ackles' single season record of 77. Rebels lead this by 9. Clark thundering under, knocked out of bounds by Dickel.
And Keon was coming to help out defensively and probably would have got a piece of that one to break the record, but it looked like the ball went out of bounds off the Aztec player.
Nesby on the interception. Knocked out of bounds by Nelson.
They're going to change it.
And they probably should.
Well, they should let the Rebels have the ball to make up for the last call.
Bano's out at the 10-second line.
Now, Bano's worried about the 35-second shot clock. If they give the ball back to the Aztecs, he wants the 35-second clock run down.
See, Bano always thinking.
Yeah, but they're going to give possession to Tyrone Nesby and leave the 35-second clock where it's at.
They're going to. I'm not sure who has the ball, but
they're going to reset it to. They're running it down to 6 seconds.
Bano is not arguing the call, but he wants to make sure that the 35-second clock's run down.
He's right on top of it,
which it is at 6. That's good coaching right there.
You got to get up on him.
Richie, 3-pointer.
Oh, Sunshine!
A wild scrum. My goodness.
Oh, Sunshine says he can't believe the way he just put Betts, just threw him off the court almost. He's so strong.
Well, it's 4 fouls on Sunshine. Damian comes back in. Remember, the Rebels only suiting up 9 players tonight. They're going to need them all.
Well, Sunshine going after the ball aggressively, but also put a forearm on Betts. And they list Betts at 190 pounds. And I tell you, Sunshine just threw him away like he was a rag doll.
Rebels call it 20. While Bano and the Rebels huddle will tell you about upcoming events at the Thomas and Mack. The New Edition Reunion Tour. It's tomorrow at the Mack. Bull Riders Only Championships, April 3rd through the 5th. And Figure Skating Championships will go on. The tickets for the World Figure Skating Championships go on sale on Feb 17th. The performance will be on July 4th. For ticket information, call 895-3900 or charge by phone with Ticketmaster 474-4000. Nelson down the middle with the left hand. Damian got a piece of the ball, knocked out of bounds by the Aztecs.
They're going to change it again.
And they do change it again. Bill Bano says, let me get 1 or 2 close calls tonight.
Come on, Randy, you've given 3 in a row now.
These officials have made their presence felt tonight as the Aztecs have been terrible from 3-point country. Betts comes under. He scores 53-46.
Well, the Aztecs have cut this now, made it a 7-point game, bringing the crowd back into it.
Nesby on the leaner. 14 points for Tyrone now. Red hot in the second half. He's got 10 here in half number 2. Rebels by 9.
Tyrone has a lot of success working on the left side of the court.
As Nesby goes, so go the Rebels. 55-46 UNLV. 11-10 to go in the ball game here. Nelson takes a baseline, falls away, and scores on a 2-pointer. 55-48.
Keon Clark took about a minute breather, and now he's getting ready to check back into the game. Bill Bano does not like how the way the game has gone when Keon is on the bench.
Nesby now pulling up from 15. Tipped the rebound. Betts has it for the Aztecs. Rebels have not put this one away yet. They're up by 7. Ritchie, the tray. In and out. Rosegreen, the board for the Rebels. He has 10. So Warren in double figures for the first time since the earlier San Diego State game on the 9th of January.
And Warren looks a little tired. That's one player on the Rebel team that's in just tip-top shape at all times, and he looks a little tired.
Well, the Rebel coaching staff really worked hard the last couple of days to try to keep the team fresh after all the travel. Lane coming under, blocked by Clark. Rosegreen the follow. 57-48.
Well, maybe Warren was just playing a little possum, just catching his breath, where he's able to go ahead now and get the errant or pass and go ahead and put it back in for the easy deuce.
Well, he's got a lot of heart. Nelson dribbling, comes under. The freshman Clark with a rebound. They say he's the best front court freshman recruit they've had in many years here, Clark, at 6'8", out of Monterey, California. 57-50. Damian fights through a pick. Kruzwick the rebound. 9:24 left in the game. Bodies on the floor. Here comes Betts in the baseline. Doesn't get the roll. Nesby's got the board for the Rebels. This game has not been an artistic success.
No, and the Rebels have gotten away, and they're slowing the ball down. When they get the rebound, they need to just kick it out and run, because the Aztecs are very tired.
That one goes over everything. On the weak side, here comes Nelson back. Tickle stole the ball. And he's held by Nelson.
That should be an intentional.
The Rebels want an intentional. They're not going to get it.
Oh, that was more intentional than the one at Hawaii. Good defense. Oh, look. That should have been called an intentional. Chad Nelson was not going after the basketball at all.
The Rebels will inbound the ball. Second personal on Nelson. 15th foul on San Diego State. Kevin James in for the Rebels. Damian got a good look. Damian, the tray. Rosegreen and the Rebels get a fresh 35. Nesby's open. He's got that one, and Tyrone is on fire in the second half. He's got 17, 13 and half number 2.
We've been waiting for Tyrone to explode. He's got his wake-up call at halftime.
He just needed to see the Aztecs again. 60-50 running Rebel. Ritchie steps in to trap him. No basket. 15 foul on the Rebels. Foul is on James. Well, talking about Nesby and how he's a barometer this year. We'll first check out the replay here, Gondo.
Well, Kevin James just getting there a little bit too late, tried to take the offensive charge, but got called for the foul.
Damian Smith stole the pass.
And Kevin James is hobbling. He got hurt early in the first half, and he's still showing the effects.
The Rebels need Nesby to score because the Rebels aren't that deep. They don't have that many weapons. Tyrone again. Oh, he is lighting it up now.
Well, and Tyrone on the year, he's only shooting about 26% from the three-point area. And when he's getting back-to-back threes, you know he's hot, and he's the player with the hot hand now. The Rebels need to go to Tyrone.
Here's Salam. Big guy thunders under and lost it. Ball out of bounds. Timeout. 7:37 remaining. 13-point Running Rebel lead on the Showboat scoreboard. And the Rebel television show Game Time with Bill Bano and Dave McCann, Sundays at 11:30 on Channel 8. Tyrone Nesby on fire with 16 in the second half.
Just really getting wide open looks at the threes over on the left side. Just squares up, just goes straight up both times in the same corner, and both times the same result.
Well, you know, Bill Bano and his staff deserve a lot of credit. The Rebels with 13 wins. And hey, the Rojos, our buddies, are here, but you know, the Rebels don't have the team they thought they were going to have going into the year. They're not that deep, and that's why they need Tyrone to score, as Will Porter answers with a tray for the Aztecs, and the Rebels lead by 10.
Well, Tyrone, we kind of waited for him to explode as of late, and certainly now in the second half, he has come up and is the type of player that you kind of expect him. Tyrone was carrying the offense so far in the second half.
63-53. Here's Keon towering over everybody. Lost his balance a little bit, and Salam the board for the Aztecs. Salam over Keon. Cruiswick the board. Stolen by Rosecreen. Great play by Warren.
Keon's out ahead of everybody.
Damien's open for the tray. And I think Salam knocked that ball out of it. This should be Rebel ball. Yes.
I think if the officials would have given that to the Aztecs, we probably would have seen Bill Baino use that high jump that he's gotten famous for on the sidelines for the Rebels.
6:44 time remaining tonight. 63-53. Foul away from the ball on Nesby. An illegal pick. It's the 6th team foul on UNLV in the second half. San Diego State possession.
And now Tyrone picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Tonight's UNLV basketball game is sponsored in part by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. Sure hope you're making your plans to join us when the Rebels get back home on Saturday night to play San Jose State. Tickets going fast for the Monday night game with Fresno, a week from Monday on the 17th. Porter.
Bill Baino telling his team, easy, let's work some clock.
The Rebels in good shape, but it's not over. They're up 10. 6:10 remaining. Clark trying to post low with Cruiswick. Reinhardt has got Nesby. That's a mismatch. I think Tyrone could take Reinhardt.
Well, they're running the play again for Damian Smith, but see that the Aztecs broke down the offense.
Look at that move. Oh, in and out on the hanging try. Bodies on the floor. Typical of the action here tonight. This is going the other way. Give both teams credit. They've played very hard. Check this out.
You watch the hang time and how many different ways that Tyrone changes it. Look at 2-3 different times, but then I watch Warren get up there and hang. And then bodies start flying everywhere.
Can you do that in a horse game, Gondo?
On a 6-foot basket.
You got that move still?
On a 6-foot basket.
What does the basket have to do with the length of the hang time?
It seems like I can hang up there a little bit longer then.
It's an illusion. 10-point lead, UNLV. Ritchie. Aztecs resilient. Rebels lead by 7. That's 18 points for Jason Ritchie.
And just a simple skip pass as Ritchie finds himself wide open behind the 3-point line.
63-56. Nesby to Damien to James. 20 on the timer. Timer at 15. Rebels trying to run a pattern here. Now they get the ball to Nesby. Back to Damien. 3-point rainbow. Keon puts it back with a long arm. Ritchie the board for San Diego State. They pound it. Cruiswick. There's the record, number 78 on the year. Aztecs wanted a foul on Keon Clark. UNLV by 7.
Well, Keon sets a record, doesn't even leave his feet, stands flat-footed and gets his school block shot record.
Now Nesby with a shot. They called a foul. I think it was before the shot. Wholesale substitutions here. Fred Trenkle is red hot. Foul was on Reinhardt, his first 6-team foul. Lane back for the Rebels.
Get a chance to see where Keon breaks the record. You watch him, he doesn't even leave his feet. Look at those long arms just standing there. Watched him in practice the other day. He was hanging from the rim and his toes were touching the floor.
22 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks against Hawaii on Thursday night. 63-56. Aztecs man-to-man. Out of bounds off of James. Ritchie saved it, got it off of James. Aztecs have it.
Well, the Aztecs have a chance now where they can cut this 7-point lead down.
Rebels have been a very good team this year in close ball games, although losing the heartbreaker to Hawaii by 2 on Thursday. Ritchie around Nesby, comes under, he's fouled, he goes down hard, he'll shoot 2 more. Ritchie really has been their offense tonight.
He's been their only offense.
Yeah.
He's been the one player that you expect to come out and score points for you, but he has had, really, he hasn't had any problem scoring against the Rebel defense as Keon Clark picks up his 4th personal foul with 4:16 to go in his game. Still a lot of time, and Bill Bano is going to leave Keon on the floor with the 4 personal fouls.
Bano talking to his assistants. Ritchie will shoot 2, 63-56. At Fletcher Jones Imports, a Mercedes-Benz is now more affordable than ever. If you've been thinking about buying something else, think again. Fletcher Jones Imports, a season-long sponsor of Runnin' Rebel basketball on KUPN TV 21, Cable 2. Ritchie with 20 of the Aztecs' 58. Only a 5-point UNLV lead now with 4:12 left.
Aztecs are going to play the man-to-man. You got a lot of mismatches you can take advantage of.
And they double Sunshine quickly. It's a very experienced backcourt of Ritchie and Nelson.
Anything down inside is a mismatch for the Rebels.
Yep. And here's Nesby. He takes Betts to the baseline. He hangs. Ritchie from distance. An air ball. Clark got the rebound. He scores. 63-60.
Bill Bano does not opt to use a timeout.
Rebels have had several double-digit leads in this game. Sunshine comes down the middle. Keon in traffic. We got a foul on San Diego State. That's the 7th. This will be 1-1.
Well, if the Rebels are going to play, or the Aztecs are going to play the Rebels man-to-man, the Rebels have to take advantage of it. And the one way you take advantage of it, you can get the ball inside to Keon, but you have to keep the court spread. Now, if they're going to come from the weak side and try to double-team Keon before he gets the ball inside, just use the skip pass, kick it over to the corner, where Tyrone Nesby has hit a couple of back-to-back threes over in that corner.
63-60, 2-shot trip for Keon Clark. Or check it, 1-1. Yeah. My mistake. It was a 1-1 front end. He missed the front. Rebels by 3, 3:24 left. The old San Diego Sports Arena is rocking tonight.
It's a 3-point game right now, and every possession is going to be crucial.
Not a lot of people here, but they're making a lot of noise. Ritchie. Great rebound by Keon Clark. Here comes the big guy leading the break. Good job to terminate. Rebels get into their offense. No reason to hurry here. 3-point UNLV lead. The timer right now ticking at 20.
Use a little high-low. Bring Keon up high, put Tony Lane down low, and move Tyrone Nesby out to the corner. There they go.
Boy, we've had so many down-to-the-wire games this year.
The alley-oop.
Not there. Sunshine bumped by Nelson on the dribble. Foul on Nelson. 1-1. Sunshine Smith, who's the Rebels' best foul shooter.
86%.
Bump and grind tonight in San Diego. 63-60. A Rebel win here, and UNLV stays 2 games out of first place in the WAC Pacific Division. A loss, and they fall to within a half game of falling down to 6th place San Diego State. So a lot at stake here.
And this is a 1-1.
Good. Sunshine, who when he came to the Rebels out of Oak Hill Academy was not a very good shooter, really has developed his touch.
We've talked about in the past, we think he's probably, I can't think of a player that's developed their outside shooting more than Sunshine Smith
Just
has.
Perfect release. Sunshine calmly nails 2 free throws. Rebels by 5. Runnin' Rebel basketball camps are coming this summer. There are day, overnight, and 2-day offensive skill sessions as well as team sessions available. The camps are for ages 8 through 17. Call 895-3295 for more information or to get on the mailing list for Runnin' Rebel basketball camps coming this summer. Ken Korak, Glenn Gondrezick in San Diego. 2 minutes, 34 seconds remaining. Rebels 65, San Diego State 60.
And Keon Clark for the Rebels has gone to the bench with 2:34 to go in this game with the 4 personal fouls. He won't be there for long. But Bill Banos does not want him to pick up his fifth personal foul.
25 in the timer for San Diego State. Looking low for Cruzwick. Rebels in the zone defense here. Ritchie with 15. Ritchie with 20 points tonight. Nelson against Dickel to the baseline. Threw it away. Rebels, great defense. Nelson after it. Taken by Sunshine. Great defensive sequence. The help on Nelson. Rebels get a turnover.
And now the Rebels can use the clock. They can start milking the clock with the 5-point lead. 1:54 to go in the game.
18 timer. Dickel going to milk some clock.
Work it down to about 10 or 9 seconds.
10 seconds in the timer. Rebels lead by 5. Dickel down the middle. Bumped by Nelson. 9th team foul. 1-1 coming. Reminder to stay with us after the game. Gondo and I will be selecting tonight's FHP player of the game. FHP, your healthcare partner for life.
And Dickel on the year shooting 71% from the free throw line. It's a 1-1 still as the Rebels have the Aztecs have 9 team fouls.
Very physical battle here tonight. Remember Billy Tubbs, Gondo, when we went to TCU, and he said after the game, making the adjustment from the Southwest Conference to the WAC, saying how much more physical the WAC was. Didn't realize it was going to be this physical. Rebels have found that out.
Well, and you got to coach accordingly.
Yep. Dickel makes the front end of the 1-1. Rebels by 6.
Now Bill Banos telling the officials now he wants them to keep an eye on the clock to make sure that the clock starts when it's supposed to.
And Sunshine and Dickel have gone up to the stripe, and they've each made 2 foul shots. Rebels lead 67-60. This is a 20-second timeout. That's the last 20 the Rebels have. They have 2 more full timeouts available. Reminder, Rebels of the Decades, the annual salute to the former Runnin' Rebel basketball players, is coming on Monday the 17th when the Rebels meet Fresno State. If you've ever worn a Rebel uniform, we'd like to have you participate in the festivities. Call 895-3454. Fresno at 7-2 in the Pacific, 15-8 overall. A Rebel win moves them to 6-4 and 14-7. Trenkle in for the Aztecs, a great 3-point shooter. But good defense by Dickel, the air ball, and Rosegreen rebounds, and we get a foul. Actually, somebody pushed Rosegreen. Rebels want an intentional 7-point lead.
And Warren's a little slow getting up off the floor, but he's saying he's okay. Bill Bano, of course, wanting the intentional foul called. And the ball was already away. The Aztec player just comes up and throws Warren down on the floor.
67-60, 125 left. Rosegreen not a good foul shooter. He is 47.4%.
Let's see what the Korak Jinx does.
I see it works in reverse.
Oh, see, okay. Nothing but net on that.
See, I can milk that Jinx either way.
Yep.
See, it's a reverse Jinx.
Good. You need to use that more often then.
69-60. Rebels clutch at the line. Reinhardt for 3. This one's not over. 6-point lead. The Aztecs call a quick 20-second timeout. 69-63. Only the 3rd 3-pointer this year for the senior Brian Reinhardt. Fred Trenkle talking to his ball club.
Now Bill Bano is going to have to do is put his best free throw shooters in the game. Even though Warren Rosegreen made 2, he'll probably come out. I would imagine probably going to go with Damian Smith, one of your clutch free throw shooters, and certainly he's very good. But now you know that the Aztecs are going to foul, and you have to put your best free throw shooters in the game for the Rebels.
Upcoming for each ball club. Rebels with 4 straight at home, finished with 2 on the road. Tough stretch for San Diego State, including a non-conference game at Stanford on the 24th. Their game with San Jose State on the 27th might decide the number 6 spot in the Pacific. 6-point lead, Rebels, 1:15 left. Sunshine's fouled. by, I think by by Porter. Now, Sunshine's made his last 2. Dickel's made his last 2. Rosegreen's made his last 2. Rebels lead by 6, 1:14 remaining.
And now Bill Bano is going to that defense-offensive substitution. Had Damian Smith in there for offense. Now the Rebels are shooting the fouls. Brings Warren Rosegreen back in for defense. Damian Smith goes to the bench.
Very calm. Sun nails it. 7-point lead. Perfect at the line until that one, and the rebound by Trinkle. Here comes Ritchie. Rebels want to help on him. Force an off-balance shot. Cruzwick got it stripped by Dickel to Nesby, and Nesby's fouled by Reinhardt. Dickel got a hand on that ball.
Well, and that's one thing that you have to be aware of. The Aztecs are going to come down and look to take quick shots, whether it's a 3 or a 2, but you have to get up, especially when you get the ball in Ritchie's hands. And you know, Trinkle is, that's his forte, is shooting 3s, especially long 3s. So you have to be aware of where Brandy Trinkle is at.
Nelson in for the Aztecs for Cruzwick. Damian will be in for the Rebels for Rosegreen. Get a better foul shooter in there. 1:03 remaining. Rebels by 7. Nesby back to the stripe.
And the Rebels are going to put some token full court pressure on the Aztecs, trying to make them use a little bit of the game clock.
Nesby had 4 points at halftime. Now has 21 with that one. 8-point lead. Rebels win this, they'd be 4-2 in the WAC on the road. That's very impressive.
That's great. And especially you have Tyrone Nesby coming out of a slump.
Yep.
Coming back for a home game, 4-game homestand.
Need to get the Thomas and Mack rocket. Reinhardt. Nesby got another rebound and he's fouled. 55 seconds left. Some of the fans start to head to the exits here. 9-point lead. And the UNLV fans are waving goodbye to the Aztec fans.
Look at the Rojos.
Rojos being the most vocal members of the student body at Rebel games.
There we go. Look at the Rojos.
They're great.
They come to every game. They make as many road games as they can. They come to the radio show on Tuesday nights. They got the Rojos hats, and then they have the T-shirts that have a picture of Bill Bano on the front of it.
I knew they were dedicated when we saw them at Fresno. You know, I mean,
that's a long drive.
No kidding. 10-point lead. Tyrone now with 23. 50 seconds left. Trinkle got Rosegreen in the air. Nelson to Porter for the layup. 8-point lead. 44 seconds remaining.
Oh, no,
and here's a bad pass by Dickel. Rosegreen is going to get called for a foul, and that's going to be 2 shots. Check it, 1-1. It's the eighth team foul. Dickel just kind of threw the ball up into the air, and 43 seconds left, an 8-point lead, UNLV, and you give the Aztecs a chance with a 1-1 with a clock stop now.
And Bill Bano goes, what are you doing? I mean, you just have to get the ball in bounds because you know they're going to foul immediately. And now instead of the Rebels going to the free throw line, now you have the Aztecs, and Jason Ritchie is going to the free throw line.
Yeah, you make 2 and make it a 6-point game, and it's a 2-possession game. Whoa, he missed the front end. Rosegreen got the board for the Rebels. They'll have a chance to turn out the lights here pretty soon. Dickel's got it to Sunshine. Sunshine's fouled. Sun will shoot 2. 35 seconds remaining. 8-point lead, UNLV.
Well, the Rebels are going to win this game, but the one thing you want to do down the stretch right now is you don't want to dribble the ball. You move the ball by a pass. You do not allow the Aztecs to foul you. Just keep passing the ball or they can't adjust their defense.
Sunshine's missed 1 foul shot tonight. Goes back to the stripe. 73-65.
And Bill Bano's now questioning to see how many timeouts the Aztecs have left because he's looking at the clock to see how many times they're going to be able to stop it.
The other thing, Rebels really will benefit, Kondo, from having a week now after this ball game. They're going to be real tired after tonight and then the flight home tomorrow. Be a week before they play San Jose State at home. 2 foul shots, 8-point lead. Ritchie the force for 3. Oh, 75-68. Rebels quickly get the ball to Nesby.
Oh, I thought he was going to shoot it.
Gondo almost had a coronary over here.
You faked me out.
Damian's fouled. He'll shoot too. 20 seconds left. 7-point lead UNLV. You almost came out of your chair.
Oh, that's ready to go.
You were sure Tyrone was going to shoot a 3-pointer.
Well, I guarantee you what, if he shot that, Bill Bain and I would have been saying the same thing. Look at this. Sunshine Smith just plays good defense, comes across him, and he forces it up. It's just an off-balance throw, and he gets nothing but the bottom of the net.
Yes, by Damian. 76-68. I feel like we've been broadcasting a free throw shooting contest tonight.
Well, and luckily the Rebels are going to come out on the winning end of it.
Swish. Rebels by 9. Here comes Nelson down the middle. Porter the 3-pointer. Well, 13 seconds left. 6-point lead. Fred Frankel calls time. That's the Aztecs' last 6-point lead.
Well, I'm telling you, the Aztecs are knocking down the threes. It's a good thing the Rebels are converting their free throws.
You have to admire the competitiveness of both ball clubs.
Well, this would be a different game had the Rebels not been making their free throws.
Here's the story over in the Mountain. Top 3 teams all in the top 25, but Tulsa lost to Rice on Thursday night. And Tulsa will probably fall out of the top 25. Tulsa, the first time they played Rice, they won by 30. And they lost by 17 to the Owls on Thursday. A turnaround of 47 points.
Well, it just shows you the difference of playing on the road and the WAC. I mean, it's not an easy place to win, and when you look at the Rebels, they're going to be 4-2 on the road after tonight. That's incredible.
Once again, to look at the Pacific. And the big game involving those teams near the top tonight. Colorado State is hosting Utah after Colorado State was beaten on Thursday by Wyoming. And all of a sudden, kind of out of nowhere, Wyoming has gotten hot. The Cowboys have won 4 of their last 5. The only loss in there was the defeat administered by UNLV a week ago.
And the Rebels just pounded Wyoming. Did not look like they were that good a team, but you got to give them credit. With Latrell Whitehead, the leading scorer in the WAC, going down out for the season with that elbow injury. It's just amazing to show the job that they've done at Wyoming.
(77-71), 13 seconds remaining. The Rebels will inbound. Aztecs to try to steal, then foul quickly. Nesby gets it in, and Sunshine is mugged by Trenkel. And with 12 seconds left, Sun back to the stripe for 2 shots.
And they only ran 1 second off the clock.
You make just one of these 2, and this is over.
The Aztecs use their last timeout. They cannot stop the clock. The clock will stop as soon as the ball goes to the net, but then as soon as the Rebels inbound it, it'll start again.
Good win here for the Rebels. They did what they had to do. They couldn't afford to lose 2 on this trip. They lost a tight one to Hawaii. They're going to win a tight one over San Diego State. Rosegreen hit that out of bounds to the Aztecs with 10 seconds left, but a 7-point lead, and the Rebels have this one safely tucked away finally. Their 14th win of the season, their 6th in the WAC. Nesby, for good measure, swats that ball by Reinhardt.
And he has a few words to say as he follows Reinhardt around.
Now Tyrone really was the star for the Rebels in the second half. And Ritchie was the star for the Aztecs. This one's over. A hard-fought and wild battle. 2 coaches shake hands. The Rebels win it by 7. We'll come back to San Diego with some final comments right after this. Both teams played very hard here tonight. San Diego State losing only its 3rd home game this season. They're now 9-3 here at home. The Rebels win it 78-71. And Glenn Gondrzak, even though San Diego State has been struggling recently, as Bill Bano has said many times, any road win in the WAC is a good win. And the Rebels with this one get to 6-4 in the conference.
And 4-2 on the road. And certainly that's something that's very respectable. And like we talked at the end of the broadcast, the Aztecs were making their threes down the stretch, and if the Rebels didn't make their free throws, this could have been a different game. Give the Rebels a lot of credit. They were able to knock down the free ones.
14 wins overall now, 4 more than last year.
Well, and the Rebels could be on pace to win maybe 18, 19 maybe, and certainly that's a goal that really will put the Rebels at least in an NIT position, and certainly you'd hope that see how the WAC tournament goes. But the Rebels right now, with a 4-game homestand coming up, have a chance to really do something in the WAC play.
And they'll be really tired after all this travel when they get home tomorrow, but they have a week now between games, and I think that week comes at a great time.
Well, certainly you got players like Kevin James that got hurt tonight, and there's been some nagging injuries, tired players, the road travel. It gives you some time to get ready for that 4-game stretch run, and certainly the Rebels can take advantage of this week off.
You bet. All right, our FHP player of the game tonight is Tyrone Nesby. A brilliant performance by Tyrone. He had 23. He had 19 in the second half. FHP Healthcare, your health partner for life. 10 rebounds for Tyrone, so a double-double for the Rebel Junior. And a reminder that our next TV game here on KUPN TV 21 Cable 2 will be Thursday night, the 17th. We're checking the 27th of February at 6:30 as the Rebels travel to Laramie to play the Wyoming Cowboys. Sunday night, 11:30, don't miss Game Time with Coach Bill Bano, hosted by Dave McCann on Channel 8. And catch Bano live on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 at Barley's Casino and Brewing Company, KXNT Radio 840 AM. The Rebels beat the Aztecs tonight 78-71 for Glenn Gondrzak. Our producer, Jeff Kuiper, director Tom Adza, Ken Korak in San Diego. Good night, everybody.